So our cake has cooled and it has its memory to it, so it's time to fill it. Ready? Let's do it. We of course want to practice our mise en place and get everything in its place. So we have our clean, ready countertop. We have, I mentioned I wanted to just spruce mine up a little bit and add Cool Whip to my strawberry jam. So I'm excited to try that. I have my powdered sugar garnish. I have a measuring cup for my strawberry jam. And I actually got out a 1 cup measuring cup for my Cool Whip. I got out a whisk because whisk's job is to break things, break up lumps and to incorporate things. Its other job is to add air. So a good choice when working with our Cool Whip so that we don't deflate it. We're going to need a bowl to mix things, so I got that. And then I also got out my spoon to work with my jam. So I got that stuff out. But then also, I'm going to need, no matter what, a rubber scraper spatula to get all of the product out of my bowl and to even just maybe make scoops and get it onto my cake. And then I could work all with my rubber scraper spatula, or I could use different pieces of hand tools and equipment. These are just a couple different styles of spatulas. These are all spreader spatulas, you would call them. This would be called a sandwich spatula because it's really great for grabbing butter or spreads for sandwich making, and its size works really nice. This is a spreader that you would use on cakes for spreading frostings because you get long, smooth strokes with it. This is a offset spatula because if you're trying to work on top of something, you can work and then not accidentally drag your knuckles on it. And then this is just a smaller version that might go good or be found in someone's home because this actually came in a little cake decorating kit. So these are all options to work with today. I think I'll work with this guy and this one. I also got myself a cutting board so I had a clean surface and I could remove any brown crusty edges. Now team, we've been working with a chef knife, right? This is like the versatile utility knife or kind of an all-purpose knife. But today I'm going to set my chef knife aside and I'm going to use a bread knife. Now, this is often called a bread knife, and I'm going to adjust your vocabulary on this guy from now on, and we're going to call it a serrated slicer because it can be used for so much more than bread. We can use it, of course, to slice bread and things with hard, crusty outer edges, but also we can use it to cut melons and even for our task with our cake today. So I have all of my mise en place together, and I'll get started by, I think I'm going to start by making my mix. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself a cup of my Cool Whip. I had some left over from my project last week, and it's always a good idea when we're making plans in our kitchen to see if we can cross-use things, right, and all sorts of different recipes. So that's always a good thing when we can use everything up in our kitchen. It's not very hard to use up Cool Whip. All right, so we got that measured out. We will return that to the fridge as soon as possible. Our recipe calls for 2/3 cup, so I got myself a 1/3 cup. My kits generally don't have the 2/3, but yours might at home. I'll just measure it twice for it because I just have a 1/3 here. Notice I use a separate spoon and not that with that rubber scraper spatula so that I keep my jam clean. We don't want to cross-contaminate it. I don't want any mysteries in our jelly. Wonderful. All right, so we got that set. I'm going to set my whisk aside for a moment. Or my spatula, I keep saying this. So I have my wire whisk, and I'm going to just break up my jelly. You could throw fresh chunks in if you wanted. You could use a different jelly altogether. Who knows, right? So we got that put together. I can set this aside because now it's going to be me and my spatula. Just double checking everything on the bottom. Looks great. Now let's get you nice and close. We've got that prepared. And we can return to our cake. I'm just going to gently, we're not going to open it. We're just going to gently unroll it a little here. And I'm just going to reach in and get my towel. So I didn't get all like aggressive with it. And you can see how the powdered sugar did a nice job of making it not stick. Okay. And technically, honestly, you guys, if we wanted, we could begin just working right on this towel. I don't have to transfer it right onto this cutting board since that towel has to be washed anyway. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start working and then do a trim when I'm ready to plate it. So that it has a clean edge. So we know one thing's for sure, right? We know that we want to use all of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it on. So I don't have to keep putzing around and returning to my bowl. Now if you just do the 2/3 cup jam, and then you'll be like, it'll have less volume, right? That's fine. It's going to be wonderful. Remember my pictures of that first jelly roll. So now I'm just using my offset spatula now, and just working it around. I'm not going to work it. I'm going to leave at least 1 inch on this edge here. Get you closer. So I'm not going to go all the way up to this. This is going to be not covered. And I'm going to not like goop it over the edges. I'm going to, just work up to the edge and stop because I have to trim that anyway. So why not all the way to the end? Because when we roll it, we want it to just have a nice clean spot to sit. All right, so now I'm going to just start making it even, pushing it up into this roll area so that it's all the way up into my swirl. I feel a little thin spot right there, so I could feel my offset spatula scrape against it. Okay, team. We did it. So I'm up into here, and I kept myself an edge. I'm going to just scrape that off. Why not? Like I want to get it all the way up there so that I know I see it in my cute little swirl. Ah, I went over the edge. Rescue it. There we go. I'm happy with that. I want that. Okay. Let's roll it up. There's no reason to give it a death grip here, you guys. It's just really gentle. Look at how I'm just barely touching it. And then you can even see some of this is squishing as I go, so that's good thing I didn't go all the way to the edge. Even it out. Alright, so now instead of pushing, I'm just going to flop it so that this is now touching the table. Ready? Go. There. Got our little roll. And like I said, I want to cut a clean edge for this before transferring it. So I have my bread knife. This one I go ahead and I grip it behind the bolster. And I go ahead and I stabilize here. And you see how I have this little crusty edge here, so I'm just going to give it a little trim. You could trim this in advance too, just like your directions told you to. I just like to make this nice clean edge with 0 waste. And get my image right away. See how we started? A roll. You will have more air pockets on the outside edges than in the inside edges. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this side now. Make sure you can see what I'm up to. I'll try to use my left hand. See how I do. And now when I cut with my bread knife, it's all about my blade and not my strength. It's 0 pushing. It's just a saw back and forth so gently. See that? So I don't crush anything. That's why we like it. The teeth can cut through and not crush anything. That was a little too timid with that. I got it. There. So we have it trimmed. I'm going to do a double garnish on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to garnish it with the powdered sugar now. I'm going to transfer it to its plate and just hit it again if there's any hand marks or anything. So I could even go crazy and go further. Should I try to do the side a little bit? Working with my left hand. There we go. Lovely. All right, so now I need its plate. So for service, I can even just use a familiar plate, like the blue one we used for our corn chips here. You could use an oval plate. You could cut it and put it out for service like that too. So we go ahead and we get our plate out. Stabilizing that out of the way. And I go ahead and I just give it a gentle hug. And I move it to my serving plate. Out of the way. Put my towel in the laundry. Now I can do it again. So now I garnished on my towel and it left less powdered sugar. And it looks like I didn't make any hand marks. So it's perfect. We did it, you guys. You made a beautiful jelly roll. Let's have some fun. Let's open this up. You could even cut on the diagonal if you wanted to be creative. So I'll just try a creative cutting. Notice now I use my blade and I saw back and forth. And I don't push. I get myself a little plate. Strawberry cream filled jelly roll. And then I have all my cuts here would have a little diagonal in them. See? In order to stabilize there, watch your thumbs now. Put her back in and use your knife and not your strength. So then you got that second one that started now. So you could have like that, that's fun, right? Or, that. You could serve it up. Probably with just the jam. With just the jam, I can get it to stand up. With the cream, it gets a little softer. All right. Enjoy, you guys.